Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to grade 8 chemistry class. Today we are going to discuss the topic relative atomic mass, which is given in your chapter number 1 on page number 11. Side by side we will able to complete the next topic as well, how to write a chemical formula along with the significance of chemical formula. So the first topic is relative atomic mass. Why we are now calculating it out, the relative atomic mass, as we have already the atomic mass of different elements. As we know that the mass of an atom is too small. Mass of an atom is too small. What is the meaning of this? जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि एक एटम का वजन या इसका मास बहुत ही कम होता है, बहुत ही छोटा होता है, एंड इट इज टू स्मॉल टू बी डिटरमाइंड प्रैक्टिकली। और इसको मालूम करने के लिए हम अगर कोई प्रैक्टिकल वर्क भी करें तो ये आपको उतना अच्छा रिजल्ट नहीं देगा और ना ही आपको एटम के मास का सही तौर पर पता चल सकेगा। अब इस सूरत हाल को देखते हुए certain instruments enable us to determine the ratio of the atomic masses of various elements to that of carbon-12 atom. अब साइंटिस्ट ने जब ये सूरत हाल देखी, ये प्रॉब्लम देखी, तो उन्होंने एक स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू लेते हुए किसको लिया उन्होंने स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू के तौर पे कार्बन-12 को, कार्बन एटम को उन्होंने स्टैंडर्ड मान लिया और कार्बन का एटॉमिक मास चूंकि 12 है, लिहाजा इस कार्बन-12 के आइसोटोप को उन्होंने स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू जानते हुए बाकायदा तौर पर इसको एक मयार करार दे दिया। मयार से मुराद ये कि इसके बगैर अब आप कोई भी रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मास मालूम नहीं कर सकते। तो मुख्तलिफ किस्म के जो एलिमेंट्स हैं उनके एटॉमिक मासेस का रेशियो मालूम करने के लिए आपने किसका सहारा लेना है? कार्बन-12 के एटम का, जिसकी मदद से यानी इस कार्बन-12 एटम की मदद से आपने बाकी तमाम एलिमेंट्स के रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मासेस निकालने हैं। लिहाजा कार्बन-12 की मदद से निकाले जाने वाले जितने भी एटॉमिक मासेस एलिमेंट्स के होंगे उनको रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मास कहा जाएगा या रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मास कहा जाएगा। नाउ द डेफिनेशन ऑफ रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मास. What is the definition of relative atomic mass? The relative atomic mass of an element is the average. It is basically the average mass of atoms. Mass of atoms of that element. As compared to किससे कंपेयर कर रहे हैं आप? As compared to 1/12 को पढ़ा जाएगा 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon-12 isotopes, because the carbon is not available only in this form, this atom. It has also some other isotopes. So carbon-12 isotope. And what is isotope basically? It is basically an element having different mass number but the same atomic number. What is an isotope? Isotope is an element having different mass number but the same atomic number. So simple we can say that what is relative atomic mass? It is the average mass of atoms of that element, यानी किसी भी एलिमेंट के एटम्स का एवरेज मास अगर आपको चाहिए तो आपने उसको किससे कंपेयर करना है, किससे उसका मवाजना करना है? टू द मास ऑफ और एटम ऑफ कार्बन 12 आइसोटोप, यानी कितना है, ये क्या रेशो है? 1/12 का रेशो है। और 1/12 का रेशो क्या है? 1:12 के हिसाब से आपने किसी भी एलिमेंट के एटम का रिलेटिव एटॉमिक मास निकालना है, जिसमें आपने स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू लेनी है कार्बन 12 की। क्लियर? नाउ दिस कार्बन 12 इज बेसिकली एन आइसोटोप। कार्बन बेसिकली एग्जिस्ट इन 3 डिफरेंट आइसोटोप। इसके बुनियादी तौर पे 3 आइसोटोप होते हैं, जिसमें से कार्बन 12 को स्टैंडर्ड आइसोटोप के तौर पे मानते हुए ये कहा गया है कि आइसोटोप्स क्या है? ये वो एलिमेंट्स होते हैं जिनके मास नंबर तो डिफरेंट होते हैं, लेकिन एटॉमिक नंबर इनके सेम होते हैं, जिनकी वजह से आप इनको पहचानते हैं कि ये आइसोटोप है। इसी तरह हाइड्रोजन, क्लोरीन और बहुत सारी दुनिया में ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनके आइसोटोप्स भी एग्जिस्ट करते हैं। नेक्स्ट हेडिंग इज एक्सप्लेनेशन। Explanation related to relative atomic mass. So based on carbon 12, that is C12, and considering this value as a standard, the mass of an atom of carbon, which is 12, and 1/12 of it normally comes to be 1. So when we compare atomic masses of other elements with carbon 12 atom, they are expressed as relative atomic masses of those elements. For example, what is the atomic mass of carbon? Carbon का atomic mass क्या है? So atomic mass of carbon, as we know, that it is 12 in this carbon 12 isotope. And if we want to compare and want to find out the relative atomic mass of carbon, what we are going to do? So, the carbon versus carbon, carbon to carbon ratio. What is the atomic mass of carbon? As we know, it is 12. Another carbon, 12. So, make the ratio in this way, 1/12. 1/12 of the atom of carbon. So what are you going to do? Instead of writing 1, you will place the value of atomic mass here. So what is the atomic mass of carbon? It is 12. So 12 divided by 12 will give you the answer. 12 will be cancelled out and answer will be 1. This 1 indicates that the relative atomic mass of carbon is 1. Now you can take any other example as well. Suppose you are taking the example of oxygen. So what is the atomic mass of oxygen? And how you will calculate out the relative atomic mass of oxygen? So first you have to write down the atomic mass of oxygen, which is 16. Now, by applying the standard value for finding out the relative atomic mass, you have to do by writing 1/12. What is the meaning of 1/12? It is actually the ratio which is indicating the atomic mass of oxygen that will be written in the numerator, while the atomic mass of carbon that is already written in this finding out, that is in calculation. Now instead of 1 you will write 16, and in denominator 12 is already written. So we are going to solve it. 4 4s are 16, 4 3s are 12. Approximate 4 by 3. Divide this value. So 3 1s are 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. 0. Add point here. 3 3s are 9. Minus again 0. So approximate what is the relative atomic mass of carbon with oxygen. So it is 1.33 approximate. So it is approximately 1.33. which is actually indicating the relative atomic mass of oxygen. Not the atomic mass, it is the relative atomic mass that is related to carbon. So in this manner you can calculate any relative atomic mass of any element by your own. Relative atomic mass has some units as well. And what are these units of relative atomic mass called? These are called atomic mass unit. So now we are going to define what is atomic mass unit. So one atomic mass unit is 1/12 the mass of an atom or one atom of carbon 12. One atom of carbon 12. So this will become the definition of atomic mass unit. Now there are some symbols used to indicate the atomic mass unit. So the next heading is symbol. Which symbol is used? Normally the atomic mass unit can be represented by AMU. AMU, in which A means atomic, M mass, U unit. So finally we can say that atomic mass unit is the unit, or AMU is the symbol for relative atomic mass. Now another important thing, there is a value which is equals to grams, which we are going to write now. And what is that value? When this atomic mass unit is shown or expressed in grams, what you will write? So atomic mass unit can be expressed in the form of grams as well. And this value is that AMU, that is 1 AMU, is equals to 1.66 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 24 grams. So if you want to convert the AMU in grams, then you have to follow this equality, this value. Another example of relative atomic mass is related to the example, and you have to note down these examples in your neat notebooks or loose sheets. So mass of proton is equals to 1.0073 atomic mass unit, or AMU. As we can see that proton, neutron and electrons are basically the part of atoms. These are the subatomic particles of an atom. So we are discussing here these different masses of proton, neutron and electron regarding the relative atomic masses of some element. So what is the mass of proton? It is given in AMU 1.0073, and in grams it is 1.672 multiplied 10 raised to power minus 24. So mass of proton is nearly equal to the mass of neutron. Only the difference is the mass of neutron is more than the mass of proton. So here we can see that 1.0087 AMU and 1.674 multiplied 10 raised to power minus 24 gram indicates the mass of neutron. The lightest of all subatomic particle is electron, and the values are indicating the same, that electron is the lightest particle among all these particles that are proton and neutron. And here you can see that the 10 power, or the power of 10, is written in -4, which indicates the smallest power, smallest number, smallest value. Again in the case of 10 to the power minus 28. And what is the difference between minus 24 and minus 28? That which value is greater than other? So 10 raised to power minus 24 is greater than 10 raised to power minus 28. Clear? Second topic of the day is how to write a chemical formula. That आप एक केमिकल फार्मूला को कैसे लिख सकते हैं, वो कौन से स्टेजेस हैं, कौन से स्टेप्स हैं जिनकी मदद से आप केमिकल फार्मूला लिखते हैं. So before knowing about those stages, you must know what is chemical formula. What is chemical formula? Chemical formula is basically the combination of different symbols. Combination of different symbols of different elements present in that compound. So it is the combination of different symbols of elements, because elements are represented by their symbols. For example, hydrogen is represented by H, sulfur is represented by S. So these are different symbols of elements, and with the combination as well as with their composition, when all the elements are collected, they are combined in any compound, they will become or show the chemical formula of that compound. Is it clear? So now we can say that compounds are represented, that compounds, okay, not the elements. Compounds are represented by means of chemical formula, and elements are represented by their symbols. So this is the main difference between the symbols and the chemical formula. Now there are different steps to find out or to write a chemical formula. So chemical formula of compounds are written keeping the following steps, which I am going to tell you now, in consideration. So by keeping all these steps in your mind, you can easily write any chemical formula of compound. So how to write a chemical formula? For this purpose, you need some steps of writing chemical formula, and step number 1 is writing the symbols. What is the step number 1? Writing the symbols of elements. Symbols of elements present in that compounds. For this purpose, symbols of two elements are written side by side in the order of positive first and the negative ion later. I am taking here the example of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. For this purpose, I must know that what are the symbols used for sodium and chloride. So what am I going to do? That the symbol of the sodium, which is actually Na, and the chloride symbol is Cl, will be written side by side, and along with it I have to mention that which one is the positive and which one is the negative. So अगर आपको पता है कि कौन सा पॉजिटिव है और कौन सा नेगेटिव है, तो फिर आप स्टेप नंबर 1 इजीली वेरीफाई करके स्टेप नंबर 2 पे चले जाएंगे. ये आपको पता होना चाहिए कि सोडियम पॉजिटिव है और क्लोराइड नेगेटिव है. लिहाजा आपने पॉजिटिव आयन को अपने फर्स्ट साइड यानी लेफ़्ट साइड पे रखना है और नेगेटिव आयन को उसके बाद यानी राइट हैंड साइड पर लिखना होगा. So this will become your step number 1. Step number 2 is the valency of each ion is on the right top corner of its symbol. So second step is called writing the valency of elements. Writing the valency. This will become the first, writing the symbol, and the second step is writing the valency of those elements. Again I am taking the same example, sodium chloride. Now I am going to write the valency where? On the right top corner of its symbol. For example, sodium has valency +1, so I'll write only plus because normally 1 is not written along with the symbols. While on chloride, the valency is -1. So I am only writing minus because the 1 is again not written with it. You can also write down some other examples. For example, I am here taking the calcium chloride. Calcium chloride, in which I know the symbol of the calcium Ca, and also the valency which is present on calcium, which is 2, and it is the positive ion. So where you will write the positive sign, always after the number. So the valency is 2, and as you know that it is the positive ion, so the number will be written first and then we will mention the sign. What is the symbol for chloride? It is Cl. So will be written on your right hand side, that is after the positive ion. And what is this valency? Its valency is 1 and it is a negative ion. So only minus will be written, which indicates -1. So this is the second step which is finally verified. Third step is called cross exchange valency method. Cross exchange valency method. This method is in fact about the exchange of valency between two elements, and this valency of each ion is brought to the lower right corner of other ion by the cross exchange method. For example is in front of you. First is sodium chloride. Sodium is the positive ion while the chloride is the negative ion. So we are now going to do the cross exchange method. Valency cross exchange होंगी जिनको हम ऐसे लिखेंगे, फर्स्ट सोडियम एंड देन क्लोराइड. नाउ क्लोराइड के साथ जो इसकी नेगेटिव वैलेंसी है वो कहाँ चली जाएगी जी, कहाँ होगी? इसको हम लेके जाएंगे सोडियम के बिल्कुल लोअर राइट साइड पर. इसी तरीके से सोडियम की जो पॉजिटिव वैलेंसी हमने इंडिकेट की हुई है वो हम कहाँ लेके जाएंगे? बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से क्लोराइड के बिल्कुल नीचे कॉर्नर पे, यानी ये वैलेंसी यहाँ पर शिफ्ट हो जाएगी. तो दिस इज़ कॉल्ड क्रॉस एक्सचेंज वैलेंसी मेथड, जिसमें आपने क्या देखा कि सोडियम की वैलेंसी क्लोराइड के साथ शिफ्ट हो गई और क्लोराइड की वैलेंसी को हमने सोडियम के साथ मुंतकिल कर दिया. नाउ व्हाट विल बी द फॉर्मूला or chemical formula becomes? So it is NaCl. Now we will not write the signs, that is positive and negative, along with it. But in case of calcium chloride, calcium 2 positive and chloride negative, what will happen in this case? Now according to cross exchange valency method, Ca 2 plus and Cl negative. So the valency of calcium will be written at the lower right corner of chloride ion, and valency of chloride is written again at this corner. So now you have to write down the chemical formula, which is Ca and Cl 2. Why 2? Because according to this valency exchange method, we know that calcium has 2 positive, that is 2 ions. 2 positive, valency is 2 positive. So this valency is shifted toward the chloride. So this 2 will move toward the chloride, while chloride has -1 valency. So only 1 will move toward the calcium. Clear? So in this manner we can say what is the chemical formula calcium chloride. It is Ca, not 1, not necessary to write 1. So CaCl2. Another case, one more case is now will be discussed with you. It is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide, CaO is the formula. But still we don't know the formula, that how we will write a correct formula in this case. So we know the valency of calcium, it is 2 plus. But what is the valency of oxygen? We have to remember this. So it is 2 minus. Now interesting case. You have to move the valency of calcium towards oxygen and valency of oxygen toward the calcium. Now, the formula in front of you is like this: Ca2 O2. क्या किया अब आपने इस फॉर्मूला को बनाने के लिए? आपने कैल्शियम की वैलेंसी को लिखा 2 प्लस, ऑक्सीजन की वैलेंसी 2 माइनस. ये फिक्स होती हैं, इनको आपने याद करना है. अब आपने क्या किया कि आपने क्रॉस एक्सचेंज किया, क्रॉसिंग की इनकी वैलेंसी के दरमियान. क्रॉसिंग के नतीजे में जो कैल्शियम की 2 वैलेंसी थी वो ऑक्सीजन के साथ लिख दी, और ऑक्सीजन की जो 2 वैलेंसी थी वो कैल्शियम के साथ लिख दी. जिसके नतीजे में अब आपने क्या करना है, सिंपल थिंग, कि जब इस तरह की एक जैसी सिचुएशन आ जाए, यानी एक ही तरह से वैलेंसी आ जाए, दोनों तरफ वैलेंसी बराबर हो जाए, तो आपने इनको क्रॉस कर देना है, यानी एक तरह से ये कैंसिल आउट हो जाएंगे. एंड आफ्टर द कैंसिलेशन योर फॉर्मूला विल बिकम ओनली कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड, दैट इज CaO. So this is the another and the third case which is very important here to be discussed. The fourth step, that is step number 4, is in case of same and different valencies. In case of same and different valencies. Now in this case we can say here that already I have given the example of the same valencies in case of calcium oxide, in which both have 2 positive and 2 negative, that is the same valencies, that is 2. And only in this case, if the valencies are same, they are offset and are not written in the chemical formula. So the formula will become only CaO. I am not writing here Ca2 and O2 because these are now offset. These are cancelled out with each other. But in case of different valencies, what should we do? हमें क्या करना चाहिए? So in this case they are indicated as such that at the same position. For example, in case of sodium chloride, both the valencies are offset and formula is written as NaCl. For example, again I am giving you this example as a fourth step, NaCl. They have valency +1 and -1. So do you think is it necessary to write down Na1 and Cl1 after exchanging their valency with each other? No, there is no need to write 1. So only the formula will become NaCl. Whereas in case of calcium chloride, the formula becomes CaCl2. Why? What is the reason behind why CaCl2? Because the calcium has valency 2 plus, while the chloride has valency -1. So this valency is written along with calcium, so it is Ca1, and along with chloride the valency of calcium will be written, so it will become Cl2. So in this manner you can make your chemical formula of any compound. The next step is step number 5. Step number 5, which shows that some of the chemical formula that chemical formula are having basically radicals in them. So the chemical formula having radicals will be the next step. Now what are radicals? Radicals are basically atoms or group of atoms that have some charges in the form of positive or negative. Now if an ion is combination of two or more atoms, then it basically called a radical having a net charge on it. Either you can say the positive or negative. For example, sulfate ion. Sulfate. It is a group of atoms. It is a combination of two atoms together. S, sulfur, and O, oxygen. And what is the valency on it? It is 2 minus. In a similar manner, another example is phosphate. What is the valency? And first of all, what is the symbol or the formula used for it? It is PO4 and 3 minus. That is, valency is 3. So in this case, then the net charge represents the valency of the radical. That is, net charge means 2 minus and 3 minus. That is 2 negative and 3 negative. So the chemical formula of such compound is written as, by using the previous steps 3 and 4 and writing the radical within the parenthesis. What is parenthesis? These brackets which are in front of you. What are these brackets called? Parenthesis. Parenthesis, you can also say it. So example will be in front of you in this manner. Chemical formula of aluminium sulfate. Now I am going to write the chemical formula or making the chemical formula of aluminium sulfate. How you will make this formula? First, by keeping all the previous steps in your mind, you have to write the symbol of aluminium first. Clear? Symbol of aluminium is Al. Now you have to write down the symbols for the radical sulfate. And what is this radical? What is the symbol used for this radical? It is SO4. After writing Al on the left hand side and SO4 on the right hand side, you have to write down the valency on their top corner. So valency, what is the valency of aluminium? You have to memorize it. ये आपने याद करना है. So the valency of aluminium is 3 plus. Valency of sulfate is 2 negative. Now what is the next step? Yes, cross the valencies with each other. इस तरह से आपने क्रॉस कर देनी है. Now write down the formula after cross exchange valency method. It is Al. Yes, Al. Then you have to write down the valency of sulfate 2. Afterward, write down SO4. Along with it, write down the valency of aluminium. So cross exchange. Aluminium की valency को यहाँ लिखें, sulfate की valency को यहाँ पर shift कर दें. What is the valency on sulfate? It is 2 negative, but we will not write 2 negative. We will write the valency of aluminium along with it. So it is 3. But how can we write the two numbers all together? Is it possible? No, it can't be possible. So we will use parenthesis here. We will use parenthesis, that is this bracket. So in this manner we can separate these two numbers from each other. And your formula of aluminium sulfate becomes Al2SO4 taken thrice. Another example is taken from the phosphate. An example is calcium phosphate. CaPO4 having 3 negative, which is the valency, while the valency of calcium is 2 positive. So cross exchange valency method. Along with calcium, write down 3, and with phosphate 2 positive will be shifted over here. So write down the formula now. Along with Ca, you have to write down the valency of phosphate, which is 3. So it is Ca3. And along with phosphate, PO4, which is a radical, you have to write down the valency of calcium. So again, same problem is occurred here, like this. Two numbers cannot be written along or side by side with each other. So you have to add here parenthesis or bracket. So this formula of calcium phosphate becomes Ca3PO4 taken twice. Now the last topic that is related to writing a chemical formula is significance of chemical formula. Significance mean importance of chemical formula. So only you can write significance of chemical formula. यानी केमिकल फार्मूला की क्या अहमियत होती है, इसकी क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है, हम केमिकल फार्मूला कंपाउंड्स का क्यों लिखते हैं. सो दिस इज योर लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ द डे. सो वेरी फर्स्ट यू हैव टू राइट डाउन सम ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स विच आर मेंशन्ड on page number 11 of chapter number 1, which are given in the form of a beautiful flower in this way. But I don't think so that you need to make these flower or this flower and then write the significance in them. But the presentation is like this, but I'll prefer that you have to write down in points. So the very first point is indicating about that it represents the names of the substances. For example, water. By a chemical formula, you must know that which elements are present in them and what are the name of those elements or the substances. So name of substances can be clearly indicated by chemical formula. For example, water. What is the formula of water? H2O. So what is the meaning of this first significance? क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? केमिकल फार्मूला की एक अहमियत ये भी है कि केमिकल फार्मूला जब भी आप किसी सब्सटेंस का लिखते हैं, आपको फौरी तौर पर पता चल जाता है कि उस कंपाउंड के अंदर कौन कौन से एलिमेंट्स हैं और उनके क्या नाम हैं. जैसे आपके सामने H2O की एग्जाम्पल है, आप फ़ौरन देखते ही पहचान जाएंगे कि इसमें हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन के एलिमेंट्स हैं. तो नेम ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस का आपको फ़ौरन पता चल जाएगा. नाउ द सेकेंड पॉइंट इज़ अबाउट दैट इट टेल्स द नेम ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स विच आर present in the compound. So name of element you can also know. Name of elements. So this is normally the repeated point. You can also say the name of substance. जैसे ही आपने किसी सब्सटेंस या कंपाउंड को देखा, उसका नाम पता चल गया कि ये वाटर है. इसी तरह नेम ऑफ एलिमेंट में आपने फ़ौरन बता दिया कि इसमें हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन है. सो वन एंड द सेम थिंग. Next point, that next significance is it also represents 1 mole of the molecule in the balanced chemical equation. जैसे ही आप केमिकल फार्मूला लिखते हैं, फौरी तौर पर आपको जो उनके मोलर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है यानी मोल्स के बारे में पता चल जाता है. एंड व्हाट इज मोल? दैट हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस are taking part in the chemical reaction. So this will become the amount of that substance. इससे आपको किसी भी बैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशन में पता चल जाता है कि उस सब्सटेंस की अमाउंट कितनी है. फॉर एग्जांपल H2 plus O2 to form water, H2O. एक बैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशन की शनाख्त या आइडेंटिफिकेशन ये होती है कि आपने ये देखना होता है कि फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल ये आपकी रिएक्टेंट साइड है और ये प्रोडक्ट, तो हाइड्रोजन के कितने एटम्स यहाँ पर रिएक्टेंट पे मौजूद हैं, तो 2 लिख दिया. ऑक्सीजन के कितने हैं, आपने लिख दिए 2 एटम्स. नाउ हियर यू विल आल्सो सेपरेट आउट द कंपाउंड इनटू इट्स रिस्पेक्टिव एलिमेंट्स. लाइक हाइड्रोजन के कितने एलिमेंट्स हैं, 2. ऑक्सीजन के साथ कोई एलिमेंट यानी नंबर ऑफ एटम नहीं है तो हम लिख देंगे O1। क्लियर। अब यहाँ पर हमें लग रहा है कि अनबैलेंसिंग की सिचुएशन है, हाइड्रोजन दोनों तरफ बराबर हैं लेकिन ऑक्सीजन एक साइड पे 2 और दूसरी साइड पे 1 है। तो हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पर इसको 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करके इसको बैलेंस करने की कोशिश करेंगे। अब जैसे ही हमने 2 लिखा तो 2 ऑक्सीजन हो गए, लेकिन साथ साथ हाइड्रोजन के साथ भी हमें ये 2 ऐड करना होगा, क्योंकि इससे जो रिज़ल्ट आपको आएगा वो हो जाएगा 4। अब इस 4 को दूसरी साइड पे बैलेंस करना होगा, क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन तो बैलेंस हो गए लेकिन अब यहाँ पर हाइड्रोजन जो है वो अनबैलेंस है। तो सिंपली आपने क्या करना है, यहाँ पर 2 से उसको मल्टीप्लाई कर देना है क्योंकि हमें 4 चाहिए। तो ये 2 हम हाइड्रोजन के साथ ऐड कर देंगे एंड 2 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2 बिकम्स 4। सो ऑन बोथ साइड्स नाउ वी हैव इक्वल नंबर ऑफ एटम्स एंड even your equation is balanced. Next thing that is related to your third significance of chemical formula. By looking at 2s2, which thing comes in your mind? Yes, that is basically it is 2s2, but how you will write, how you will say it? Actually this is indicating the 2 moles of hydrogen. 2 moles of hydrogen. In the similar manner, there is no number written over here in the coefficient side. So O2 is only written. What is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is only if no number is written, it means 1. So 1 mole of oxygen is participating in this reaction. In case of product side, we have again 2, which indicates 2 moles of water are produced. So the whole chemical equation or a balanced chemical equation will become in this way. 2 moles of hydrogen along with 1 mole of oxygen are producing 2 moles of water. So this whole description can be given in the form of chemical formula and the balanced chemical equation, which actually indicates, or simply the not only the symbol but also the compound chemical formula of the compound is basically related to your amount or moles. The fourth significance is that chemical formula represent only one molecule or one formula unit of compounds. Formula unit of compounds. For example, again I am taking the example of water. So H2O represents that it is the one molecule of water. In the similar manner, one formula unit you can take the example of NaCl, because normally the ionic compounds, which are actually formed by ions, positive and negative, they are represented by special kind of chemical formula called the formula unit. So how many formula units are present in NaCl? So your answer will be 1 formula unit of NaCl. The fifth significance or importance is that chemical formula actually indicates the atomic masses or the molecular masses even, or their masses in the form of AMU or grams. AMU means atomic mass unit, or it can also be converted into grams. So different type of balanced chemical equations suggest that you can take your mass of compound either in the form of AMU or you can also take it in grams. I hope you have understood all the lesson very clearly. So Allah Hafiz.